I don't know why it keeps doing that. Did you and your friends have fun on the weekend? Nothing feels better than sleeping in. Watch as my head falls away from the room. I would hug all my friends if they weren't friends with you. When the night turns cold, my thoughts feel like stone, and it's nothing I can't change, and I can't breathe anymore. I forgot how to walk by myself. I could do with a little more of your help. Hi, chat. Bellow. Longer starting soon this time because I really like this song. Purping, congratulations on being first and getting a sense of shame. I hope you enjoy it. Hello. And hi, Jesse, as well. Hope you're doing well. We have the full face cam today for probably majority of the stream, and then we also hold on, it's this one, right? Did I put it here? Where did I put it? Hold on. I've lost my scenes. Am I tweaking? Where the fuck is it? Go. Hold on. I might need to add it again. I need to show this off. Where's my thing? Game capture. Yeah, it's here. Hold on. Everybody hold. Dude. OBS, you're failing me. Okay, hold on. Well, instead of that, I can go here and do this. I have the MS Paint. I had it set up earlier so where it would just show this part, but it decided to break. So we got the whole thing. This is for when I need to better visually describe something that happened. I figured this would be helpful. But I feel like I just need to like go through everything that happened in chronological order, because even I need to remember what the fuck went down. Also, I just got out the shower, so my hair is kind of cooked, but it's all right. I got my drink. I just need to like rewind. It was less than a week ago, and I'm like, my brain's already fried trying to remember from the start how everything went down. Also, ad break's about to start. If you do get an ad, very appreciated if you stay. Thank you very much, chat. Let me turn this down. Do I want to? Hold on, I kind of want to. Just for the sake of my mind and not spacing out, we're actually gonna go to the old streaming playlist, and by that I mean the YouTube one that has no lyrics, because I will blow up. Where do I even still have it? Where is it? Oh my god, I do still have it. Yes. It looks pretty loud on OBS, but it's very quiet for me. Let me turn this down a little bit. And turn it up a bit here. Yay! I have to pray that none of these are, like, copyright. I had an issue with, like, a song that remixed one of the tracks. in this playlist that would constantly flag my flag my VODs and get them muted partially because like somebody used part of the song in a different song that they copyrighted despite the fact the original thing isn't copyrighted. It's like, well, shit. Which is an issue because I can just dispute it and then it gets fixed, but it's a bit annoying. Oh my god, where do I even start? I mean, the first day, presumably. My flight was quite late, cause you know, I wanted to get there early on Friday. Hi, Larry. We're yammering. So I want to land early on Friday, cause that's when stuff okay, well now it's loud on my end and quiet on OBS. Do I need to blow up? There we go. Well, I land there early on Friday, and it was actually very convenient, cause oh, that's about what I was gonna say. I'm gonna go to bed, but have fun with the return stream. Thank you, Larry. So I was about to say that the time my flight left was about 6 p.m. And conveniently, that's now also about the time I go to bed. So I was like, okay, this is huge. I can get on my flight and just like immediately pass out. It's an 8-hour flight. And just hopefully at least get a couple hours of sleep so I'm not dead. I'm not dead on the first day. Or the 0th day, because technically convention hasn't started yet. That ended up falling in through quite a bit, because hold on, this is the first thing I need to describe to you guys. My flight, you know how the flights, there's like the chair, and then there's like, this is the chair in front of you, and it has a little tray table, and you can flip it down and like lean on it if you want. That's all fine and dandy. That was gonna be my plan. I have a window seat. Here's the window here, and I'm sat here. And you flip the tray table down, but instead of it like coming down here, so like you can lean forward on it without breaking your back, it leans down about here. It's like sat on top of your knees. So trying to lean and sleep on this thing is like the equivalent of just trying to like sleep on top of your own knees. It really didn't do much. So I was like, well, shit, I tried for like, I will say I tried for like at least an hour, and it didn't really work. I also tried leaning against the window. That didn't work either. Nothing was comfortable. I'd say I got a nice 20 minutes of sleep total. So I was kind of cooked going into the thing, but it was okay. The adrenaline had hit from finally landing and knowing I was gonna meet friends very soon. So I get off my flight. I go through the passport check thing. What's it called? Border control. I check my passport, do all the usual stuff. What are you here for? How long you're staying? Have fun. It's very, very nice over there, as opposed to coming back into the US, which I'll get into later, because my experience there was a bit evil. But I get there, I'm messaging friends. We have a plan for a whole, I think 9 of us total, to meet up at Schiphol Airport, the Amsterdam airport. And I'm the first to get there. CGQ and Kemi Pinekonen are on a train coming towards me by the time I land. And I'm like, yippee, friends. So they get there about like 30 minutes after I land, which is significantly better than the about 6 to 7 hours I spent alone at the airport last year. I think I spoke about that on my other like TwitchCon story stream. I can't remember. I was just thinking like I need to rewatch that VOD because I need to remember what the fuck happened. But we do that. We're there. We're waiting for we're now waiting for Kate Venna to show up, who is also already there. She got there like Wednesday or something, and she also took the train in. So now there's the 4 of us. We're all vibing out. We're oh, do I I'll have this on me. I do. I found it. I have it. Hi Raspberry, welcome in. While we're there at the train station, Cammy hands me an envelope with my name on it, and like just doesn't really say anything, and I'm like, what, huh? I was like, do I open this? And she's like, no, wait until, it'd be awkward if you open it now, wait until after the trip. So of course, immediately, as soon as I'm in the car back home, I open it then. And it's a little, it's a little photo print of one of the screenshots from one of like Jack's like infinite spleef streams. It was just us and Bo, and a little message on the back that says it was awesome meeting you. Which honestly, part of me was worried it was gonna be like a long heartfelt message that was gonna make me sob immediately. So I'm kind of grateful it wasn't, because I just like would have broke down immediately. But it was fine. It was very wholesome chuggus, and I need to put this somewhere, and I don't know where to put this. But that's like me with everything I get, like any kind of gift I get. I need like to find a cool place to store them. But this one, maybe I'll just try to find a frame. I thought that was really sweet. I never actually told Cammy that I opened it yet, so hi. That was sweet. So now the four of us, BCG, Cammy, and Kate, we're all sat in the airport vibing out, we're now waiting for Boloon, Brewberry, and Scato AC to land, as well as Sarah Sahara is also coming in on a train, inevitably, and fuck, there's one more, right? Am I already forgetting someone? We're about 5 minutes into me yapping. Hi, nurse guy. Hello. But yeah, I mean, I could go back through the group chat, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There's like keeps being, yeah, Jack. Yeah, it was Jack I forgot about, because Jack had like 8 billion flight delays. But at that point, so did everyone. We're all just kind of tweaking out. It's looking like we're going back and forth between like, you know, the big screens that are like up at the top of the airport that show, you know, all the incoming flights and their estimated landing time and all that shit. Cammy keeps calling it, I'm gonna go check, keep saying I'm gonna go check the ELO sheet. And goes and looks at the fucking thing. So that becomes an ongoing bit immediately. That's just the ELO sheet. We check it like 5 different times, and we're like, okay, Boloon's gonna land in like 10 minutes. So we start walking over to his arrival area. And we're sat outside it for, I want to say, a good like 30, 40 minutes. Just like being, well, shit, we were supposed to get here. And then, you know, pick up Bo and then go run to where Brew's landing, which was gonna be like 10, 15 minutes after. But that seems to have fallen through. CGQ. Hi, CGQ. Wait, holy moly. I saw that guy. But yeah, everything appears to be going wrong immediately. Bo's stuck in like the border control line, because apparently it's taking forever. So I think I saw you too, no way. So we're like, okay, Brew's gonna land like any minute now and is gonna like, you know, get through all the border control shit. So we're like, okay, we're gonna split up. Me and CGQ leave Cammy and Kate behind to wait for Boloon while we run over to Brew's arrival zone, which is like freaking halfway across the airport. So we take a long walk while, you know, carrying our fucking heavy luggage across the entire way. I'm extremely tired and sweaty by the end of it. And we get there and we get a message from Brew that's like, okay, I can't find my luggage. It's saying that it'll take 30 minutes for it to arrive on the belt. And me and Suzuki just kind of look at each other and just like sigh as we start walking back. And we get back to where Bowen's gonna land about like, you know, it's another like 5-minute walk back. Is that Phaze Ray? Hi, Cyber. Hello, hello. Yeah, I think so, perhaps. Thank you for the look, Jesse. So we get back, Boloon is still not there, and we're like, okay, what the fuck? You know, check the group chat again. You know, it's been 5 minutes now, and Brew's like, alright, got my luggage. Where are you guys? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna blow up. So, but eventually we get everyone together. Boloon gets through the border control. Now there's the 6 of us, and Jackass spawns in eventually as well. And I'm giving out my little keychains. If you didn't see, I posted about those on my alt. Let me snatch up the photo. Because I bought a pack of little keychains on Amazon. Focus. You want to focus so bad. Thank you. There's a little creature and it goes click clack click clack. Because I also got a pack of like acrylic paint pen markers thingies. And I was like, I'm gonna try and customize these and see if it works and like doesn't smudge everywhere, and it didn't, and they look really cool, I think. I'm biased. But hold on. Open image in new tab. Yes. So I turned the other 5 into these creatures. One for Sandwich Jack, Sujuku, Blueberry, and Kate Venna. So I'm dispersing these out as it goes on, as I find the people. Sandwich lands in Rotterdam instead of in Amsterdam. So he's already at the convention center at this time, and we're waiting to get everyone together to go meet him there. And eventually we get the whole squad together. Jackass shows up. Scotto AC shows up. it was really funny because the entire time, like, we're all like walking back and forth to try and find people at their arrival areas. And there was one time where, you know, I'm trying to keep everyone updated in the group chat as to what's going on and like where we're going. You know, all the people who aren't, you know, in the physical group with us already. And Scotto's like, alright, I landed at Arrivals 1, and we're at Arrivals 2. And I say that, and Scotto's like, okay, I'll come to you guys. And I'm like, okay, yep, that's good. And somebody asks, where's Scotto? And I say, he's at Arrivals 1. And they're like, well, alright. And they like pick up their bags and start walking. I'm like, no, he's coming to us. Don't you fucking dare. We are not getting split up again. But yeah, Scotto shows up. Sarah shows up. We get in the big train. We're all crammed in like the small train cart that's like the one that's not really a car, the one that's connected to the doors that go inside and out. So people are constantly trying to like squeeze past us, and it's very awkward and uncomfortable, and we're stood for like the 35-minute long train ride, but we get there eventually. And at that point, there wasn't any AC, it was a little bit warm. Moneybag Sandwich landing in Rotterdam. I mean, when you live near to the location, you can actually find flights that connect to that specific airport. It'd be physically impossible for me to do that, especially without getting a connecting flight. It's just I don't know why I'd ever do that. It's just more expensive and scary. And also, trains are fun. I'll have an excuse to ride more trains. At that point, Scotto goes to meet up with his Airbnb. I can't remember if anyone else disperses, but we all get to the convention center eventually. We meet up with Sandwich. I am his keychain. There's big groups of people just like converging outside. I get my badge, which actually I'm gonna show off now, cause hola mole. I remember being really sad last year because I didn't bring like a pen so people could sign my badge. And the only time I got signatures was like when I was with Soul, who also had like a pen on him for signing, and it was like, well, you know, while you're here, can you sign my badge? So I got Soul's, Void's, and Nam's signature on my previous badge, and that was it. Because that was the only time I could get signatures. But this time I was like, you know what? I'm bringing my own pen, and I did. These badges are very slippery. They're like laminated, so it was. I'm definitely glad I brought the. I have a paint. I brought the paint pen that I used for, the keycap keychains, and it worked pretty well. But yeah, that's completely flooded on this side. Also, the pink Pookie sticker. I was given that immediately by, I think it was Pay, who gave me it. And I just instinctively put it on my badge, but then I realized, wait, no, if I want signatures, I gotta have to not just flood my badge with stickers this time. So that was the only sticker I put on my badge, and the rest I just kept on me. They're currently, most of them are on, my drawer over to my right. I'll probably get a photo of it at some point. What silly stuff do you get for being affiliate at TwitchCon? I don't know, because I didn't pick up the bag this time. Usually, you know, you get a little goodie bag that you can pick up, but the thing, I just didn't get it, because last year I was just dragging it around, and like, I didn't really use anything in it. I was like, I don't just want another bag to shove into my closet and never see the light of day ever again. So I just didn't pick it up. So that was, unlucky. There's more signatures on one side. I thought I was gonna stay at one. Unfortunately not. Yeah, when I first started signing and like this started getting flooded, I would tell people like, okay, so you could either make your signature really small and put it on this side, or I'd flip it around and it was empty at the time. I said, or you could put it on this side. And I want to say at least 10 people went, nah, I'll make it small. except for Vig. For like the longest time, it was just Vig on this side. And I was really hoping it'd stay that way. But it didn't. We ended up getting a couple more. It would have been really funny if it was just Vig though. At that point, I'm kind of drained because I got like 30 minutes of sleep on the flight, and I've been awake for how long would it have been at that point? Like probably like 28 hours or something, or like 30. And I'm like kind of spacing out and just like just sitting down while people are talking around me. It's still a good vibe. We're waiting for Brinks Live, who says he's gonna be there at like 2 o'clock, and me and CGQ need to check in by 3 to our hotel. So we're like, well, shit, this Brinks Live guy better get here soon. I end up, because I'm bored, I end up opening my suitcase and start distributing groan tubes to the people. I actually don't have one up here in my room currently. But if you don't know what those are, yeah, you do. They're the sticks that you twist them side to side and they go ow, ow. I think I have a video of Kaylin using one that I can share. I took a lot of videos of stuff that were like mainly just for me, so I didn't really bother checking too hard if there was like something leaked in them. Let me take a look at this real quick and make sure make sure nothing's leaked. That is CGQ's whole face. That's rather unfortunate for the people. Oh, and I can show it after. I'm so sorry, CGQ. After this point. This is just a short clip of us just going around. That was from that day. Where do you keep it? I've been looking for it. No, it's mine now. But they go wow wow. Okay. So that was fun. You know, people are very amused by the tubes. I'm very happy with my purchase. And the amount of storage space in my suitcase I got rid of for the sake of bringing them. I ended up with a lot more like suitcase space than I even needed, so I think it was a worthwhile investment. Maybe I'll bring even more next year. But at some point I check I'm like once again I'm just kind of like sat down and just like people watching, and then I think, oh wait, I need to check my watch. And it's like 2:20. And we don't know our train route or tram route to the hotel yet. So I'm like, wait, shit, CGQ, we gotta go now. So we get up and just like start walking. Apparently Brinks Live arrives about like 2 minutes after we leave. So yeah, fuck that guy, I guess. So I never saw Brinks on Friday. just because of that. I think we didn't even need to check in by 3. I think it was, I think it really would have been fine. They were very chill at the hotel. So we arrived there, we check in, I can finally stop dragging my fucking suitcase and backpack around. Incredible day. I can't remember. We're waiting at the hotel for a little bit for something. I think we're like trying to find a place to go get food. And at some point, I'm laying down in the hotel bed. And like I close my eyes for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, wait, shit, no. I think I just like accidentally napped for like 5 minutes, and I just kind of like panic wake up. You know, one of those weird feelings where it's like, if you close your eyes for too long, you just will fall asleep. That's how tired you are. You're like, shit, I cannot lay down in this bed. So we get up. I can't remember where we go after that. I think, CGQ, don't we just like wander around the mall after that? Isn't that what we did? We went to like Wow Burger. Wandered around the mall. Went into what was it? Was it a Lidl or an Aldi? What store was it? In the mall? The one that trapped us. Lil. I assume that was meant to be little. But we're like, you know, we're walking around the store and looking for like ice cream or something. And we walk into this one store. We walk into this one Lidl. We're looking around. They don't have like any sweet treats we can munch on. So we go to leave. There's a regular checkout with a human cashier, and we don't have any items. So we go to the self-checkout because we don't have any items. Or we're gonna walk through. You need to scan your receipt to leave. There's a turnstile, and you need to and we can't go out the way we came because there's also a turnstile that only opens from the front. So we're like tweaking out. He's like, well, I don't want anything. He was like, what do you want? So we get some of these. Well, I say we. I was like, well, I'll have some gummy bears, sure. And he was like, I'll pay for it. Like, apologize for like getting you trapped in here, because he was the reason we went around the mall. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I guess I got some free gummy bears. I normally came and buy a random German salami. Scrumptious. So we escape Little. Thank you for the lurkeners. And also, I can't really remember much else of what happened Friday. I think we just kind of like, because obviously that was the day I was most tired, and just like on the brink of passing out. And speaking of passing out, like at some point after that, we just like head back to the hotel because we're waiting for Neb at that point. That's what we're doing. We're waiting for Neb because Neb lands at like 6 p.m. or something. And the initial plan was he was gonna get there quickly, you know, train and get to the convention center to pick up his badge before badge pickup closed at like 8 or 9. It was something like that. But he ends up getting fucked over by Google Maps and like missing the train. So he's just like, okay, well, we can't do that anymore. I'll just meet you guys at our hotel because Neb is staying with me and CGQ in our hotel. So we're like, okay, we'll start heading back to the hotel now and meet up with the Nebular Minecraft whenever he gets there. Or like, you know, we're gonna meet up. That's what CGQ ended up doing. What I actually ended up doing was getting there and laying down again and falling asleep for about an hour and a half, apparently, according to CG. I didn't check the time at all, like before or after. All I knew was that I fell asleep at some point, and when I woke up, the first thing I saw was Nebular Minecraft, and I was really fucking happy. So I immediately get up, I hug Neb. And, like, my head's kind of spinning at that point, because, you know, I heard snoring from across the wall. That was a thing, because I didn't know if that was me, because I've never really snored before, as far as I'm aware, and, like, I mean, granted, people aren't around me when I'm sleeping that often, but it's often enough that I feel like I would know. But there's like 2 caveats to that, because as I was sleeping that night, CGQ, I also heard snoring from across the wall, like the other room over. So either that was what you heard, or it's because like I was really like dehydrated at the time. Ghost, perhaps. Because Neb said I didn't snore like any of the other nights, so it could have just been because I was dehydrated when I fell asleep. That, you know, my throat was all fucked. But yeah, apparently I was very honk shoe. But, you know, I wake up, Neb's there, and I'm like, well, I immediately want to pass out again. Also, hi, Sabaka. I bet it was Neb. Wait, shit. What the fuck? I don't know snoring mechanics. I don't know. But, you know, at that point, I just want to pass out again immediately, but like, holy shit, Nebular Minecraft is here. I can't do that. And he's like, well, you know, I want to walk around. I've only got a couple days to be here. And I'm like, you're so right. I also only have a couple days to be here. So I lock the fuck in, and we all decide to head out. At that point, I believe it's Cammy, Sarah, and Kate are all out at like a nearby park. And we're like, okay, we're gonna walk over there. Dude, I'm like embracing the eepiness I had earlier. May I say that I'm definitely still a bit jet lagged. I got home like fucking yesterday. I'm cooked. That's a lie. It was 2 days ago. We get there. I eat a lot of strawberries because they have strawberries. It's very scrumptious. And that's Neb's first time meeting, like, Cammy, Kate, and Sarah, like, at all, like, ever. And I think that's kind of funny. They all get along. It's very, very silly, goofy conversations ensue. Fuck, didn't someone else show up, or am I tweaking? Or was it on Friday? Was it just us? I'm already losing my mind. I think Jack much later. Not on... No, yes, on Friday. Wait. I'm getting the photo. No, it was just the... Like, after we had the walk of all time. Yeah, hold on. This is one that I put on my Twitter. Where is it? Where's the censored version? Yeah, that was this night. We run into this really cool, like, reflective building. That's where this photo is taken. Hold on. Do I have, It looked so fucking sick at night. Where is it at? Yeah, look at this shit. Fucking ass mirror building. That was awesome to run. It was like so trippy, like walking, like seeing that in the distance in like nearly pitch black. Hi, Goose. But yeah, we're just walking around, just chatting for like, we left at like, I think 8 p.m. By the time we got back, it was like 2 a.m. I got ads, fuck. No. I miss Jackass. We all need to wait patiently for Jackass and, you know, any of the others that, are currently watching ads. It says ad break ends in 5 seconds. Hold on. You should be able to refresh now. Phaze is staring at the camera just waiting for you. That's what I do all the time. It's actually a fun Phaze fact. You'll get used to it. Jackass, Jackass! We're talking currently talking about Friday night, which you were there for like a little bit, I think, when we went to your Airbnb and the police arrived. Were you there for that? Basically passed out standing up. Don't do that. No, somebody called the police. We were we went back to yeah, no, that was the whole reason why we were there, to drop you back off at your Airbnb. I don't remember when you showed up. I can't be, you know, I have to admit. I had the crone tube while they were approaching us. It was really funny. So we were outside the Airbnb just talking with Bo, who left Lazia. That was it, yeah. And you were like a drunk and shit. It's kind of funny. Not really, actually, but I made the joke about the fact that you were going to be, but wanted to see wife, friends, and nebular Minecraft. The only 3 things you really need in life. So we're outside, we're yapping, and we just see like these 2 people in like, you know, like reflective vests coming up, and you know they speak in Dutch, so Cammy is the only one who responds, and then eventually start speaking English, but the equivalent is just like, oh yeah, we had some reports of like, you know, loud noises and yada yada. Would you guys know anything to do with that? And we're just kind of like, no. I still don't really know what it was. Maybe it was us. I don't know. We were only out there for like, I want to say 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes at the most. Can we sort it, I think? Yeah, I think all was well, but that was really funny. And then they enter the building and they're, you know, they're going around. There's a room with like 3 separate loud sounds. Gah. I wouldn't know. I wasn't there for very long. And also, before that happens, we hear somebody shout down to us like from their balcony, because we're right outside the building at this point. And they go, "Hey, the one in blue." And CGQ looks up because he's wearing all blue at the time, which is really ironic to be called the one in blue because his entire brand is green. And they're like, "Were you at TwitchCon earlier?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." And that was the extent of the interaction, but it was really funny to just be referred to as the one in blue. Like, bro really failed his brand. Colorblind people, am I right? Yeah. That's what they all say. But that was about it for Friday night. We get home. I'm about ready to pass out, but I said I'd do CGQ's nails. And I do it. Very bad mistake. We're going back to MS Paint for this one, cause here we are in, you know, the tiny little hotel. This is like, let me draw the hotel floor plan real quick. So we got okay, this is about it. This is the bathroom. We got the shower, toilet, sink, bed. This is considerably bigger, but I can't estimate my mind. This is also bed, and then another bed. This is my bed. This is where I honk shoot. This is Neb's bed. This is CGQ's bed, and he's got the real big one because he's big and greedy. And there's like a little balcony out here. So notice there's not much stuff in here. There's like a little desk here that's bolted to the wall, and there's a little tiny little table here that we can move. It's got like a bunch of like tea and coffee making stuff on it, and a little like kettle that you can plug into the wall. I'm like 8 foot wide. I can't confirm. So we're like, okay, to do someone's nails, you kind of have to have like a place where they can rest their hands that they can sit on the other side of. So obviously we can't use this because this is a wall. We can't go on the other side of this. And this is the only thing that moves, but it is about 1 foot tall. So, you know, I'm sat like crisscross applesauce across from this trying to do his nails, which works for a good bit. So Kate height, gotcha. Shit. We low-key could have outside. There was a glass table. Oh, were there chairs too? Wait, shit. Shit. Okay. What? Too late. I balloon. So it's, you know, it's already 2 a.m. I'm tired of shit, but I said I'd do this. So I'm sat fucking crisscross applesauce trying to do these nails. And, you know, at some point I have to I have to lean forward a bit to get a better angle at something. And every time I do that, I go onto my knees and like lean up a little bit and have to hold that position until I'm done painting whatever I'm painting, which usually takes about like 5 seconds, which isn't long, but bear in mind I was doing that about like 5 times a minute. And if you don't know, fucking holding a position like that where all your weight is on one of your joints, as opposed to just being like, if you're sat on your knees with your thighs straight up, all your weight is going straight down into the ground. So like, it'll hurt your knees a bit, sure, but it won't be that bad. But when you're at a slight angle, which is what I was doing because of how I, like, you know, how far I needed to lean forward to paint whatever I was painting, I have to hold that position exactly where I am to avoid falling over. And over the course of, like, I want to say it only took like 15 minutes total to do his entire nail set. Because we just did green. We actually got a banger photo that CGQ already posted. But I'll also show it here. Wherever I have it. Where the fuck is it? Am I blind and stupid? Yes, here it is. The, absolute aura of this. It's just basic lime green with a little bit of reflective glitter. It's kind of cool. I love the ominous black void in the background. Thanks, me too. That's where I sleep every night. And by the time we finished and I go to stand up, my knees literally fucking buckle underneath me as I try to stand up. Like, I just kind of collapse. And it was heartbreaking. But eventually I get my shit together. I'm able to stand up. I take a very shaky shower. But I don't slip and die, so all's well. And then we go to bed, and it's day 2. We're up at, like, fuck. Like, 7 a.m. or so, 7:30, I think. Because Neb still needs to get his badge. And I'm like, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be crowded. But we meet up with, Cammy and Sarah again, because they're staying at the same hotel, just in a different room. We go to, did we go to the bus stop or, like, the tram stop first? I can't remember what route we took there, but Kate was also supposed to meet us there, and she ended up having some delays. So, I think that was Saturday. I think what ended up happening there was the three of us, me, CG, and Neb, ended up going on the bus while Cammy and Sarah waited for Kate, I believe. So we get there, Neb gets his badge, we meet up with another big group of people. Neb starts IRL streaming. And we're all just goofing about. There's the opening ceremony, which we watch, and then at that point, after that's happened, I realized, oh shit, I've been awake for like 4 or 5 hours. How long had it been? I think about 4 hours, and the only thing I've eaten is like a granola bar that Sandwich gave me yesterday. So like, well, shit, I'm starving. Can we get something to eat? What the fuck? That was gifted. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Wait, hold on. This is because I don't have it on the scene. You can barely see it. Hold on. I do actually have a sub goal for today. If it'll start scrolling. You got this. Start scrolling. You can do it. It always takes a second to load whenever I start the scene. Please. Please, you can do it. Yeah, we're fully cooked. Anyway, that is it'll start moving eventually, but it's supposed to say Parkour Warrior Dojo, no sneak, which is a sub goal I had from a previous stream that I just kept going, because why not? I'll do that at some point. It's fitting now because the dojo like just changed a couple days ago, so I'll make sure to do a stream of that. I'll probably do that whenever I finish Deltarune. Because I'm probably gonna do nothing but like stream that until I finish it, because I'm really excited to play Deltarune. But thank you so much, Adam. I hope you are having a good day. I didn't realize that hype trains could be started by a singular person now. Or maybe because it's an anonymous donation, it like doesn't count. I don't know. I ain't complaining. And how about you? Anyways, where was I? We're looking for breakfast. As you know, me, Neb, and CJ are like, constantly saying this, trying to get something to eat, and like, as we're like, all right, we're gonna go to the food court, we keep running into more people, like indefinitely. It just keeps happening. At some point, we managed to escape and get something to eat. I think that's when I got, Was that when I got the sausage roll? No, I thought that was Sunday. I'm tweaking. I fully don't remember. But yeah, we get shit to eat eventually. That's all that matters. What else happened Saturday? My mind's blanking on. I think it's sausage roll Sunday. I'm looking through my camera roll. My mind's blanking on what happened Saturday. That's Sunday. Yeah, it looks like just Saturday wasn't all too eventful. The booth happened? Yeah, there was the like, you know, organizing a Minecraft type sheet. That was fun. Me and Neb barely get into that cuz we leave a bit late cuz, you know, Neb's still IRL streaming and we're wandering around. I think it was a group of me, CGQ, Neb, and Brew at the time, just going around doing shit, and they're like, you two were like, okay, we're gonna go make our way to the panel now. And we're like, okay, we're gonna be here for a little bit longer, because it's still like 30 minutes or so till it's about to start. Yeah, Wow Burger after 2 with a bunch of other people. I think that was for lunch, but I can't remember. I think that was before the panel. The memories, they're already all fading from my mind. It's fully cooked. So it's like 10 minutes before the panel is going to start. Me and Neb find where it says on the TwitchCon app that the panel is going to be, which is the fucking was like the Give Please Theater. And we get there and we're like, okay, this isn't right. We recognize nobody in here. And that's when somebody kindly informs us that they swapped the rooms that the panels were being held in approximately like 2 minutes ago. So we're like, oh shit, okay, we gotta go. We run over to where the new room where it's being held. And there's a small group with Emily Cupcake Gaming and like waiting in the line outside. And we're trying to walk by and she's like, no, just sneak into our group because you're not gonna get it otherwise. And we're like, well, shit, crime. And we fucking sneak in and yep, she was absolutely right because we were like one of the last people to get into the room. There wasn't even any like chairs in front left. So we had to like sit back against the wall and listen. But you know, we ended up doing that. Pretty cool panel. All the strikers stand up and cheer when AJX speaks and it's really funny. That was quite amusing. It was too damn big. What the fuck? What was the context for that? It's okay to be big. Low-key learned a bit from that panel too, I can't lie. I learned nothing. Because I have a closed mindset. I already know everything. I lied. Trying to think, was there... Feinberg getting called out was pretty funny. when they were talking about, fucking... Like, you know, when to take like criticism and feedback from players and like what you should take to heart and what might just be like, you know, personal preference and bias and shouldn't really apply. And Wolfie just name dropping Feinberg. Bing, bing, bing. It's pretty awesome. Hi, King Blackstone. That was amusing. We head outside. There's, you know, more groups of people gathering around. Unsurprisingly, all the Minecrafters. I'm once again kind of spaced out at that point. At some point, we end up outside. My throat's starting to go. Outside the partner lounge, I believe. And, you know, people are coming in and out. And it was me, CGQ, Nev, and I think Bo? But I can't remember. We're kind of like stood off to the side and just like talking amongst ourselves. And I see someone walk by, and they turn and look at me, and I realize, oh hey, that's Curryway. At which point he starts literally sprinting. He full on runs towards me, and just like very frantically goes, "Do you have a whoop whoop?" and starts twisting his hand like that. And I start losing my shit, because of course I do. That's hilarious. along with CG and Neb. And I don't have any on me at that point. You were there? Okay, I'm not crazy. Cause I brought this little bag that I could bring with me into the convention, and I could carry like 5 or 6 grown tubes at a time that I was just like slowly dispersing throughout the event, and I didn't have any on me at the time, but I said, you know, I sent him a Discord friend request, and I was like, I'll have one for you tomorrow. So that happens. That was pretty funny. I don't think anything else really eventful happened that day. Other than, like, you know, me, CG, Neb get back to our hotel. Once again, it's like 8 p.m. I have a terrible headache at that point, and once again just want to pass out, but Neb's like, nah, I wanna go explore, I wanna go look at shit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna lock in. I get up, and my headache starts fading, so I'm like, okay, awesome, this is huge. We walk around, we have a good time, look at shit, take a bunch of photos, go to McDonald's. Neb buys us all milkshakes, and they take about like 15 minutes because the place is super fucking crowded, and they end up just like sitting there for like 5 minutes with them forgetting that, you know, our order is ready. Neb like goes up and was like, hey, I think that's our order. And they're like, oh shit, you're right. So we get our milkshakes eventually, and we head back. And literally, like, as soon as I walk into the hotel, my headache comes back. Just like that. And I don't fucking know why. And I'm like, ow, shit. That's annoying. And at this point, this is when I'm like, well, okay. There's no way I'm gonna be able to manage this. Keeping this a secret entirely. Because I am shit at lying. Because I'm sure, you know, I already said about it, and a lot of other people have. During MCC, they had a bunch of the Rising folk help out with, you know, the stage play type shit. You know, we were the Blank Corp employees, we were the chicken jockey and the zombies. And we helped out with setting up all that stuff, and I was one of those people. Hotel is cursed? Maybe. But, you know, because everyone's, like, already so, like, closely tied with each other at the moment, and kind of everyone knows where anyone is at any given point. Or at least, you know, someone knows where anyone is at any given point. I know especially CG and Neb, who I've been, you know, sticking with pretty exclusively throughout most of the event. They're gonna notice when I just disappear right before MCC, and I'm like, you know, I probably would have been fine, but part of me was like, I really don't want them to, like, worry about me, and then for me to not have, like, have a good excuse to, like, ease their worry. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let you guys know, I am gonna disappear a bit before MCC, and nothing's bad is going to happen. I didn't elaborate on anything other than like, oh, I'm helping with something. Like they need me. But and then literally they both asked, sub in. I was like, no. Temper your expectations, chill. And then I go to bed and I wake up at 5 a.m. and my headache is literally like tearing me to pieces and I'm passing out and dying. Not really, but I do like fucking like it is bad. It's like bad enough that I start crying. It's like ow, ouch, owie. Cuz that fucking never happens to me. My headaches always go away after I sleep. So I was really upset. But luckily I ended up managing to fall back asleep and it was gone by the time I woke up the next time, which was like an hour and a half later. So like thank fuck. I don't really know what I would have done if that stayed, cuz my god did it hurt. You. Jet lag kicked in at the wrong moment. I don't even know if it was jet lag because I didn't get any headaches last year. I feel like I don't usually get headaches from flights. I think I just got the bad RNG that day, but it was all right. Yeah, it was probably a migraine, which like I rarely get migraines either. I can only remember like literally only 2 times that I've gotten a migraine, and that was one of them. But it was all right in the end. We didn't we get breakfast somewhere different that day, or am I tweaking? No, we went back to the convention center and got the sausage roll. I had my first sausage roll. It was pretty good. The pastry was very tasty. But the sausage inside was kind of like mushy. It was more of like a sausage paste. Which apparently isn't usual, according to Neb. Apparently that was strange. So who knows? Maybe I'd like a different sausage roll better. I didn't think it was bad at all. I quite enjoyed it. Sausage. Ah, I see what you did there. The sausage to pastry ratio was off. Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad because like, you know, there's a bad ratio, but the pastries are like 80% air. Like even though it looked like there was a lot of pastry, I feel like once it was like in your mouth, it kind of felt pretty good. Sausage got ratioed. My first instinct to that was to just be like, well, how's sausage gonna get a job now? Like wood-fired pizza, but I don't think it would have worked out. I think I would have got booed off stage. Pastry was too thick, I think. Yeah, you're going crazy. You don't even remember. Sorry. Yeah, that was pretty good. More people spawn in. I get more signatures. I think that's when I meet up with Cyber and get my MILF Man I Love sticking Man I Love fishing sticker that I put on my car. Look at this shit. Yes, bro. That was pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of that sticker. I found fun. I fucking love fishing. I'm gonna have to see how long that lasts on the back of my car. I really hope it doesn't like fall apart the second it rains. I'm really hoping it lasts. I need people to know how much I love fishing. Yeah, not much else happens that day before I have to vanish to head to help with MCC. We're supposed to be there at around noon, which is a whole 2.5 hours before the event is scheduled to start. So I just go poof. I'm sat outside the the Rivals Arena. There's like the player lounge to the right. And, you know, I have a DM from Avondale that's like, you know, you just need to get through this and, you know, meet us at the player lounge. Are you Blank Corp? I was kind of Blank Corp. Also, ad break running. Thank you, ad watchers. We'll be back soon. W ads. Money. I make you sign an NDA, be honest. Nah, I wasn't getting paid. It was not a paid thing. It was just like, you know, anonymous help. Which, as far as I'm aware, you just had to not tell anyone before the fact, but now that it's happened, you can yap about it. So I'm gonna yap about it. There's one story that I don't know if I should say. Wow. Now it's Gifter. Thank you for another gift. What the? Alert? I know what you're talking about. I know. No, but it'd be really funny. Consider it. Thank you so much, Anon. Did the alert play? Where the fuck is my alert? Return to me. We're currently on Sunday. We're almost at the end of the yappage. And then it's time to play Deltarune. Holy shit, I'm so excited to play Deltarune. You can probably say but don't name drop. But it's the whole reason why it's so funny is because of who it was. I won't say it. I won't say it, but just know it was really funny. Yeah, I was thinking I probably shouldn't because of that. But it'll be fine. It's all gonna be okay. So they have us show up. Also, ads are open now. Welcome back, ad watchers. Hello. And thank you for the lurk, fun. I'm sat there waiting outside the player lounge. I was told that I should be able to be let in, but the person standing outside is like, oh, you need to have this, like, the purple Twitch Rivals wristband to be able to go back here. And like, well, shit, that's not what I was told. So I DM Avondale. He's like, okay, I'll come outside and pick you up soon. I'm out there waiting for like 5 minutes, at which point, I believe it's Chaos, Nomad, and one other. It wasn't Nom, but fuck, who was it? Fuck, I can't remember. Was it Katie? Or yeah, you know, 3 of them show up, and then later on, Liam and May also show up. You know, unsurprisingly. But eventually we all get picked up, we're let inside, and they have like, you know, this like kind of circle of couches. You know, we all sit around as Avondale goes around saying like, you know, what we're gonna be working on and what our roles will be. We were all told to bring a grayscale business casual outfit, which I did. And, you know, at that point, technically we didn't know, like, exactly what was going on, but it was, you know, it's pretty easy to guess by that description, you know, what we were gonna be doing. It was something related to Blank Corp. So, you know, I bought myself that outfit from, like, Goodwill, like, like a week before my flight, because I didn't have one. Lurk need the food to have a good lurk neb. But they're going around assigning the roles, and they say, we need, like, 4 people to put on these zombie costumes and throw plushies, at the halftime break. And they say the costumes are really small. So whoever the smallest people are, please, like, you know, raise your hand to volunteer for that. And, like, I mean, I'm not really small. I'm 5'8", but compared to the Minecraft community, I was definitely one of the smallest there. So I raised my hand and ended up being picked for that. So technically I didn't need my outfit at all, because I never had to be, you know, one of the Blank Corp employees. I was just one of the zombies at the halftime. But I got to throw a bunch of axolotl plushies. I also got one on my own. It's currently in my bed void. Let me go find it. Sure. I threw a bunch of these. It was very fun. And they brought us up. We had our own little changing room that, you know, said like MCC Rising on it. It was very, very cutesy. And, you know, they give us the zombie costumes. And me and Nomad are trying it on. And I look at it and it says size large. And I think, that's strange. These are pretty small. And Nomad takes a closer look and goes, Phaze, these are intended for ages 10 to 12. And we both lose our shit. Because obviously that's hilarious. You can't lie, that is very funny. You know, like, now take care, CG. Hope you have a good day. Which, you know, makes sense considering that they're very tight and uncomfortable, but I was able to, like, physically fit in it. Luckily, it was all made out of, like, very stretchy material, so I was still able to, like, move my shoulders and throw. Because that was, like, you know, the one thing I had to do with it on. It was quite amusing. But in the time before I had to, you know, help with the show, they had, you know, a big set of seating out front that were, you know, also reserved for, you know, all the MCC Rising people. So I'm stood out there pretty much. We're like right in front of the Pink Parrots setups. And, you know, because, you know, all my friends are currently wearing cool, you know, their cool business casual suits and shit, I also put on my outfit. I didn't get any photos of myself in the outfit, which I really should have, because I thought it looked pretty cool. I thought I slayed. And, like, nothing felt cooler than walking out from backstage and just, like, walking in front of everybody on the bleachers with, you know, me and my friends all wearing suits and just, like, you just, like, walking past all the flashing lights and cheering fans. Like, that's sick as hell. It doesn't get much cooler than that. But we sit down, they say, you know, oh, you know, as long as we have enough seating, you can invite your friends to come sit down in these seats as well, which we did. So I ended up dragging a bunch of friends down, and so did the rest of them. So now we're all sat together. You know, I have my thing to do after game 3, throw a bunch of plushies, come back, and just get to enjoy the rest of the event. I missed a bit of Sky Battle because of it, which I still want to fully watch Sandwich's Sky Battle round 2, because apparently he popped off on that one and I missed it. Bro, Aura farmed? I believe it. Apparently, didn't he get like 10 kills in one round or something? That's kind of sick. Neb was telling me about it after the fact. We were sat next to each other. the timing of like them swapping perspectives in round 1 was so fucking, like, it was so fucking funny. me and Neb were just like, you know, both pointing at the screen and pogging, being like, holy shit, he hit the funny, and then he just immediately runs off, and like, I swear to God, I laughed so hard I got lightheaded, like, it was so funny. And obviously the dodgeball was fucking insane as well. I'm so shocked I didn't cry, cause like, holy shit. How, like, that has to be scripted. It doesn't get more insane than that. But after that, Neb had made a dinner reservation for me, him, CG, Jack, Kate, Sandwich, and Brew to all go to this little burger place. Somewhere up in Rotterdam. And that's at like, what? I think 7, and the event ended at 5:30. And, you know, we're all walking around. We're not really in a rush, obviously, because we have an hour and a half until the reservation. And, like, you know, as we keep walking and Sandwich keeps getting stopped by more people to, like, you know, sign more things and take more photos, we just slowly start to get, like, more anxious and, like, like, shit, we gotta get out of here. And at one point, we just kind of, like, surround him on all sides to shield him from view. So we can get to our reservation. But it's fine, we get there with, like, 5 minutes to spare. All's well. We eat our burger, we yap about the event. I didn't take a photo of my burger, because I'm not that way. At least I don't think I did. Or if I did, I took a photo of Jack has his burger. They originally, like, they handed me a burger initially. It's like, yep, this is the, and then they say you know, the name of the burger I ordered. And I'm like, oh, nice, delicious, scrumptious. And I take a bite. And I'm like, this tastes a little bit spicy. Maybe I'm just, you know, maybe that's just me being really white. Not white enough to take a photo of my food, but still white to, you know, have zero spice tolerance. And just me being like, maybe that's just me being pathetic and thinking that it's spicy even though it's not. But I'm like, you know, it still tastes good, so, you know, I'm munching on my bite. And then the server comes back and they're like, wait, no, I'm sorry, that's a different burger. This is your burger. And I'm like, oh shit. And I look at Jackass and he's just like, oh. Because he had the spicy burger. So, he got his burger with one munch taken out of it. I'm sure he was fine with that. That's pretty funny. That was good. We stop at a milkshake place on the way back. We're making plans to, like, to play Uno at the park later. All regular silly goofy vibes. My throat is starting to, like, ache. The fog is coming. Ow. It, like, stings when I swallow, but I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, there was. Also, I have to say, there's one point during the dinner where, you know, we're obviously, you know, looking at a bunch of clips from the event and laughing about shit. At one point, Sandwich is like, hold on, I have like 22 DMs from Aunt Venom, and like briefly shows his phone and starts scrolling through the DMs and just paragraphs of text. Just so much text, and with clips attached to and VODs and timestamps, and I don't even know what he was yapping about. And like as he's showing it, Aunt Venom starts typing more. We're all losing our shit. His bird's just like so invested. I don't know what any of those DMs were, but just like the experience of seeing him scroll through all the paragraphs of text was so funny. I'm ore farming. Hi, Brinks Live. Dude, you are ore farming. This is the day, like, right after we left that burger place to go walk to the milkshake place. We went and got we went and had the fucking freak shake from Hamburg. There was like 3 milkshake options. There was like, you know, regular vanilla milkshake. There was the hard shake, which was just like a, you know, milkshake with alcohol. And then there was the freak shake, which was just an Oreo milkshake. But it was called the freak shake. And it was incredible. It was quite tasty. So obviously there was a lot of good jokes about that. But on the way there, Brinks Live just spawns in, just like across the road, and just waves at us, and we're like, what the fuck, what are you doing here? and then just disappears again. It's just like that, he's gone. That was funny. Yeah, we get home. You were walking outside my hotel. Ah, that would do it. Our bad. At that point, we head back to the hotel. We head over to the park. It's already quite late. It's like 9 p.m. or something. No, I think it was a bit earlier than that. No, it would have been like 9 p.m. because the reservation was at 7. We're out in the park. We're playing Uno. It's incredibly dark, and it's just like progressively getting harder and harder to play the game because there's less light and we can't read the fucking cards. So at that point, we're all just kind of laying around in the grass and just goofing around, making jokes. Sarah teaches us CPR. I remember none of it. So just whatever you do, don't like stop breathing around me because I will not know how to save you. But yeah, other than that, it was a pretty good night. Fan behavior, I'll give you my autograph later. No, I'd be jumping mad too with 5 minutes left, but chill. Yeah, I think you're obsessed with yourself. Oh, did I reach the end of my playlist? Oh no, it's just Ari and math. It's just really quiet. I love myself. I'm proud of you. Keep doing that. But also, you have an ego and you're fucked up and everyone hates you. No, King Blackstone, it's only okay when I say it. Don't be mean. Yeah, that's about all that happened that night. Last night of the convention. I don't have to wear my badge anymore. Yippee. Don't have to have it dangling against my neck constantly. And at that point, I'm really sad because both CGQ and Neb are leaving in the morning. And I have one more day there. So, you know, I'm saying it's like, I think it's about midnight to 1 a.m. somewhere around there when we head to bed. And I tell Neb, wake me up before you leave, because I'm going to want to say goodbye. And I can already hear it in his voice that he's hesitant. He's gonna be like, oh well, you need sleep kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm setting an alarm. I was not taking that. So I set an alarm for like 5:50 because his flight's really fucking early. And that's when he has to leave. And I get up. I say goodbye to Nebular Minecraft. I give him one last hug. It's very heartbreaking. But in my mind, I'm just like, it's just kind of going back to how it always was, kind of thing. I feel like mentally I wasn't very, like, distraught this year. I think that's just like my own mental thing of like feeling like time passes so quickly. And, like, even knowing that going into the event, well, not event, but convention. And, you know, knowing it was gonna be over as pretty much as soon as it started, but still just enjoying everything that happened. And, you know, knowing that it would be happening again. As, like, pretty much before I knew it as well. Because, like, honestly, a year doesn't really feel that long anymore. Maybe I'm fucked up, but mentally I'm just like, it doesn't feel like goodbye, it just feels like see you later kind of thing. So, no sobbing for me. I didn't cry the entire trip. which was kind of crazy. Well, other than my headache, but and that doesn't really count. That's just like physical pain. And so Neb leaves. I fall back asleep for like another hour and a half. CGQ leaves. Equally as heartbreaking. I meet up with Cammy and Sarah, who, well, I leave my suitcase at the hotel first because I'm able to do that, which is very helpful. So I don't have to drag it around during the football match. Lewis's and Badly News football match. They were both like the main hosts of it, right? As far as I remember, I was just kind of like invited to it, and I was like, well, all my friends are going to this. I don't watch football or just like any sports at all other than esports. I'm too much of a gamer. Like, this'll be fun. I've learned from watching from being in concerts and like, you know, watching MCC live. I just really like screaming. Just like any event where there's a giant audience of people clapping and cheering. Even if I don't have to give a shit about what I'm cheering for. I just really like being loud. Maybe I'm fucked up. So like, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna have a swagger's time. That we're supposed to get there at about like 12:30. Cammy and Sarah are also going, so we meet up as they leave the hotel. We briefly tried to find something to eat. Like, you know, we stop at just like one of the supermarkets outside of our hotel. And I'm just like kind of just like sat there like, how would I function without Cammy knowing how to speak these languages? He just like translates shit for me. Ow, gunk in my nose. But at one point, this was like completely unrelated, but it really made me chuckle. At one point, or in the supermarket, I say that wouldn't be ideal to something. I don't remember what I said it to. But Cammy just looks at me and just like raises his eyebrow and just said, "Did you just ask, can I IGL?" And I found that very amusing. That was really the only thing of note that happened. I think that was a good thing to miss here. But we're like just kind of going around like, what the fuck do we do before this? We end up just like deciding to just get there early because we're not really gonna have anything to do. We get there, it's like 11:30, I think. We sit outside for a bit and, you know, watch the rest of the people coming in. Fucking Kate shows up. Scotto shows up, Bo shows up, Bruce shows up. We got the whole gang. And we make our way to our seats in the bleachers. It's not that hot, but the sun is killer. It will kill you and you'll die. So Hi Sandwich! Thank you for the raid. We're yapping about TwitchCon stories. We're on Monday. We're nearly at the end. I've got not much left to talk about. Unfortunately. You were playing Mario Kart World, right? How is it? Did you got your Switch too? Hope that was fun. Unfortunately, this is at the point in the story where Sandwich Lord already blew up and died, so no Sandwich Lord to be found here, but it was nice meeting you. I crashed into so many houses. W. We're at the football match currently. He did what? Yeah, when he died. You remember that. You were there. But the sun is literally killing me and burning me, and I'm dying. I fucking I left my suitcase at the hotel, and I brought my backpack. I fucking put my sunscreen in the suitcase like a stupid idiot. Must eat foods in that. Have a good storytelling. Thank you so much. Enjoy your food. Sunburnt era. I'm so sorry, Balloon. Yeah, welcome in Destructal as well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the stream. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like kind of tweaking out because I know I'm gonna get burnt to shit and I'm gonna die and be miserable. So I'm looking around and I see down by like where the casters are. I'll bring back the MS Paint for this one. Can I just like, how do I delete you? Okay, huge. So here we have, these are the bleachers. The entrance is in this way. And like these are, you know, these are stairs. You go up. So my gang, we're all sat around here. This is where the casters sit. This is their chair and there's like a camera pointing at them. And I see down here, there's a little bottle of sunscreen. You know, I'm right here and I run down. And I'm like, please tell me I can use this. Please, please, please. And they're like, yeah, you can use it. We brought it because we figured some people were gonna forget. And I was like, holy shit, thank fuck. And the thing is, once the casters went live, there was like some red tape here that you weren't allowed to pass. So once the stream went live, which admittedly was like an hour later than it was supposed to, so people had a lot of extra time. You couldn't access this anymore. So anybody who didn't before that, they're just kind of fucked. Well, luckily I get there. I managed to protect myself from the sun effectively, as I did not get sunburnt, thank God. Cause I fucking hate being sunburnt. It is like one of the most annoying feelings. Just like any kind of burn. Limited time offer, for real. So, you know, we're back up. We're waiting for the event to start. It's still incredibly hot, but at least I won't get burnt. But it's still very uncomfortable. Because the sun is just glaring down on you. It was relentless. Eventually the game starts about like an hour later than it was supposed to, and what, Bo, Brew, and Brinks. Oh, my other names all start with B. They all had to leave like very soon after the game started because of that, because, you know, all their flights were earlier in the day and they had to make it to the airport on time. TSPMO. They say any kind of burn, you know, it feels to get burnt in other ways. Like, have I ever gotten burnt from something other than the sun? Yes. Although, I mean, it's just like water burns, just boiling water mainly. Because I have been very clumsy in the past and spilt drinks on myself, and it's youch. Surely Balloon went home that day, yeah. Bo leaves with Brew about like an hour or so after the game starts and is like, alright, we gotta make sure we catch our flight. So we all say goodbye. And we get a message, like, Bo had already said that, oh, my flight's been delayed. And then after like, is like a 30 minutes to an hour after they left, yeah, my flight's been canceled. And we're like, oh shit. It's like, where the fuck do I stay? What do I do? Actually, I don't really know what you did, but you got another flight eventually. It was as soon as I got in the car. That's hilarious. Lol. Unlucky, really unlucky. You got home eventually. It's all right. That was pretty funny. At one point, like during the halftime break, I go to the bathroom. This is important later. I come back up, I watch the rest of the game. It's pretty much just me and my group of, like, you know, there's Katie, there's Liam, there's Bo, there's Tufion, there's Poppy, there's Pei. We're all just like pretty much just like screaming cheers at like Jack Kaz and with my ex and Kalen. It's really funny. We're all cheering for Kalen, like even at times where he doesn't do anything because Kalen was a goalie. And there's occasional times where, you know, like everybody else would be on the other side of the field because that's where the ball is. And we'd just like be like, whoa, yeah, go Kalen! As he's just sat there in the goal. I was very amused by that. But game ends. SB737 fucking decks everyone. That's pretty funny. And, you know, I start, you know, getting my stuff together, put my jacket back on, I get my backpack, and I realize, oh shit, I don't have my fanny pack that I wear pretty much 24/7. That's like where, you know, where I keep most of my shit on me, because it's just like a pocket that you can attach to you at all times, no matter what you're wearing. Very convenient, and not as clunky or annoying as like a backpack or a sling bag or a purse or anything like that. So that's what I opt for. I realize I didn't take it with me when I went to the bathroom, because you have to take it off when I use the bathroom, obviously. And so I'm like tweaking out a little bit, but I'm like, okay, I know that's where I would have left it. I don't take it off for any other reason. So I go down to the bathroom I went to. It's not in the stall anymore. So I'm like, shit, someone took it. And like, I'm panicking a little bit, but mentally I know, like, this is a venue filled with only trusted people and, like, you know, people that were invited personally. So I know nobody's just gonna, like, fucking steal it and just run away with it. Like, mentally I know that, but until I have it back in my hands, that shit has my passport in it. I need that tomorrow. Like, and it is, at that point, it is about, like, it's about 12 hours or so until my flight. So I'm like, well, not until my flight, until I have to leave for my flight. So I'm like, shit. Yeah, I'm walking around asking everybody to, like, you know, ask other people and be like, have you seen this? At one point, you know, I go up to Curryway and he's like, oh, you know, I'll ask around. Both Kate and Katie, you know, bother the organizers and are like, you know, friend lost something important. And Kate comes to me and is like, oh yeah, we were told, you know, they're looking around, they're gonna do a sweep of the place and make sure that it's found, and they just told us to wait outside. They're like, okay, and I'm sat there just like fidgeting and just like glancing around for like I want to say it was about like 5-10 minutes. It wasn't that bad. And like, you know, I'm constantly checking my phone, and I get like checking the door. And at which point I get a message from Curryway that just says, I have it, where are you? And I'm like, thank fuck. So that was my hit of adrenaline for the entire event. I guess not counting MCC, but I mean, that was just kind of like hype. That wasn't like, that didn't like fuck with my system like that did. Fearing I lost my passport, or not even, I did lose my passport, but ultimately, I knew where it should be, and I knew that someone should have it, and that was the case, so all was well. W fetch quest. That was kind of fucked up, but it all worked out in the end. But it potentially even more fucked up, you know, at some point after that, you know, Jackass shows up, who is, you know, obviously Jack was playing in the football, and I see him for the first time, like, you know, not the tiny little Jackass that I saw on the field, and literally just fucking blood just on his nose and lips, and I'm like, oh shit, because apparently he got like multiple nosebleeds throughout the event, and obviously was not feeling very okay because of that. Because bro lost a lot of fucking blood. So we end up, you know, staying there for quite a while longer than anyone else, because we need to get bro, like, water and something to eat. He's, like, sat down, on the bench, and I'm, like, I have my, like, creeper hoodie that I'm just holding up as, like, a barricade against the sun for, like, it's probably, like, 15 minutes I did that. As he was just, like, resting. Because he was fucking sunburnt enough. I piloted. Wee woo. Woo! Hope you're doing good. But eventually we make our plans, and obviously, you know, CGQ and Neb are gone, so I'm not going back to my hotel we already checked out. And the rest of Jack's Airbnb is gone, so we decided we were gonna stay one night together at this, like, little pod hotel. It was really nice. It was just, like, I think they have full rooms. It was called, The Usual is the name of the hotel. I think they had, like, full hotel rooms, but they also had these little pods that were literally just, you know, a door, a little bit of storage, and just, 2 beds. So we got one of those. We were able to store our suitcases and shit there, and just, like, cause I was leaving early in the morning on Tuesday, and Jack was leaving, like, a few hours later than that, so he's just like, this works out. They also had a little, you know, like, kind of bathing area that was, had a bunch of, you know, toilets and sinks and showers. And I initially wasn't gonna use any of the showers there, because I figured they're not personal showers, they're gonna be, like, really small and clunky and annoying to use. Which they were, but the rest of the hotel looked so nice, and I needed to shower eventually anyways, so I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it, as opposed to, you know, doing it after my flight, because I don't want to be all gross on the flight home. And yeah, it was quite cramped, but, you know, in terms of, like, the shower head, and, you know, they had one of those heads that you could, like, take off and like, carry and aim at shit. It's pretty cool. I think it was a worthwhile experience. But, where the fuck did I actually leave off in the story? It's just me, Kate, and Jack left. Love a good watering. How's stream been? Stream's been good. We've almost reached the end of all my yammering. My throat is starting to die, but I have to lock in because I've got Deltarune to play, bro. So we're trying to figure out what the plan is. Jack's obviously still not feeling great after losing a shit ton of blood. So we slowly make our way over to our tram stop. We learned that the hotel that me and Jack are staying in is incredibly close to the Airbnb that Kate's currently staying at. So what airline did you use fly to and from? Of course you'd ask that. Piloted. I think I can say. I mean, it's like, it's a huge airline. It's United. They're pretty ginormous. I think I'm showing my my privilege with that, because, like, you know, the couple flights that Like, you know, I did take when I was younger. Like, with my family, we're, like, exclusively United flights, so I already kind of know how they do shit. But, I keep distracting me, I gotta... So we decide what we're gonna do is, since Jack's not feeling well, neither of us want to leave him alone. So, you know, we take the tram. I need to go back to my old hotel to pick up my luggage and bring it to the new one. And because Kate and Jack's hotels are so close to each other, Kate decides to go with him to check into the new hotel, and then, you know, she'll head back to her Airbnb while I'm getting my luggage, and then I meet Jack there. And at that point, it's like 8 p.m. or something. I've only got a couple hours left until I gotta go. So we decide to plan one last dinner with just it's just me, Jack, Kate, and Scotto, who decides to tram over to join us. And we go to this place called Supermercado, I believe is what it was called. And boy, do they have good nachos. It was like a seemingly pretty fancy place. Apparently, like, they had, like, you know, a whole drinks menu, so I think it was, like, mainly a bar. Then they also had a bunch of Mexican food and some others. I didn't really look at the menu too much. I know I just got the nachos. The nachos, fucking huge serving size. I mean, they're like appetizers, so I think the intention was just like you buy one for you know, a big table. But what we ended up doing was Jack got one for himself, me and Kate shared one, and Scotto bought something else. Alarm, alarm, alarm. Well, that's nearly perfect. That's my alarm to feed my cat. I need to... I was gonna yap about the stories, feed my cat, and then fucking... play Deltarune. I'm so excited for Deltarune. So that's, like, kind of perfect timing, because we're right at the end. Give her the axolotl. She can't eat this. Car, that was me when I saw her again. I actually don't know where she is currently, but she'll be here soon. She'll get the munchies. I'll show you guys. I'll show her when she's munching. Don't worry, chat. Chill. But the nachos I actually did take a photo of because they were beautiful. I'm gonna find this. Yes. Look at that. We got the guac and the sour cream and the scallops. It's absolutely scrumptious. Succulent. Ah. But yeah, that was really nice. That was just a place I just fucking looked up restaurants on Google Maps and looked around for about 5 minutes. I was like, yep, this place looks good. And it turned out to be an incredible choice. I really liked it, at least. I think the others did too. But that was... We ended up walking over to, Kate informed us right before we had to leave that there was a playground nearby. Ow. So we took a short detour to there. Actually, they had this fucking spinny thing. I was kind of having the time of my life. Like a fucking... Look at this guy. This guy's fucking tweaking. I just have a video of that. And then we all say our goodbyes. I miss Scotto AC and Kate Venna. But I don't miss Jack Kaz, as I'm going to be sleeping in the same room as him for the next like 8 hours. But then after that I miss Jack Kaz. But again, no sobbing this year. It's pretty optimal, I think. Like, there's still the pang of pain from, you know, realizing that when I turned around that was the last time I was gonna see them for a year, but, you know, at the same time, a year still means I'm going to see them again, so I guess that was just my mindset. But your aim is getting better! Shut up, King Blackstone, I'll get to that in a second. But, you know, that's when I get back, take my shower, get changed, go honk shoe. I wake up Jack Kaz before I have to leave, because I get up at like 6 AM to go get my train, because my flight's at like 9:15. Yeah, blah blah blah. I have to check my bags and I say my goodbyes to Jack Kaz. Get to big Jack Kaz bear hug. We always the best. I got multiple Jack Kaz bear hugs throughout the entire weekend, and I was very happy. I should have counted. I got many, but still, no, it's never enough. I need more. The Jack Kaz. I need more. Give me more. But what? There's nothing really eventful happened on the flight back. I watched a shit ton of Arcane. I learned that I could connect my Bluetooth headphones to, you know, the plane seats have the little screen on the seat in front, and they had a couple movies you could watch. And usually I don't like that shit, because you either have to use like the shitty earbuds that they give you to connect, or I do have a wired I can connect the headphones to a wire, but to do that I have to you can't use the noise canceling feature. You can only use the noise canceling if it's Bluetooth. But because I was able to actually connect my headphones via Bluetooth, I was able to like watch stuff on the little plane seat. So I watched The Death of a Unicorn. It was all right. I don't really have much to say about that. Landed. This is where I'm gonna yap about. I mentioned the U.S. border control earlier. The guy at the border control was fucking on my case. First of all, a lot of the, you know, there's a bunch of lanes that you can go into. A lot of them are closed. Hi, Hash. Also, have a good lurk, nurse. Good luck with your work. You know, I walk up. The guy is saying something to me through, like, the big, you know, fucking pane of glass that's around where they sit. And I'm not quite sure what they're saying. And I'm, like, trying to figure it out. But they eventually kind of motioned me to, like, you know, come over in front of the big, like, barricade glass door that says, you know, lane closed, alarm will sound if you open it. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? And they're like, yeah, just open it. And I was like, okay. So I figured, you know, somebody else would open that, but I guess I have to open that. The alarm did not sound, so all is well. But I'm sure you could already understand my confusion of being asked to do that. So I get there, and the first thing the guy says is like, hard to hear through those headphones, right? Because, you know, I have my headphones on and I have one earmuff off, which really doesn't make it that hard to hear anything at all. So I assume he's just, like, making small talk and, like, trying to joke about the fact that it took me so long to realize what he was saying. Because, like, at no other point in the airport security shit do you really have to take, like, shit like headphones off other than, you know, when they're checking, you know, your luggage and your body kind of thing to see if you have any illegal shit on you. So I just kind of laugh it off and be like, haha, yeah. And then, like, he pauses for a second and then says it again. And I'm like, yeah, I heard you. And then he's like, then take them off. And I was like, chill, pause. I was like, oh, sorry, just take them all. I don't really give a shit at that point, because, like, I'm already at the home stretch. And it ends up, you know, they do the usual thing of asking where I was. They're like, do you have anything to declare? And I was like, nope. Because, you know, I'm under the impression the only thing you really have to declare is if you're bringing back more than $10,000 or something. Or if you're bringing back, like, perishable foods or, like, you know, any big goods kind of thing. Because I remember researching it all last year and being like, okay, yep, I should be fine. I don't really need to worry about this. And he's like, you sure you didn't, you know, you were in Amsterdam, you sure you didn't get any snacks, no chocolate or anything? And I was like, oh, like, I mean, I got chips and, I mean, I got these. And he was like, yeah, you have to declare that. And I was like, what the fuck? So, I guess that I haven't actually looked it up again since, but I did ask my parents. It was like, you don't have to declare snacks, right? Like, non-perishable food items, like, as long as they're in small quantities. Do you? I haven't re-looked it up. I mean, it's not like it really matters. I was meant to declare things then? I think that's just the USA being the USA. Yeah, I had to declare my gummies and my Doritos. I mean, they weren't my Doritos. I stole them from Neb. But that was like, I was just like, why? But that's the thing, like, on the border control at, like, Amsterdam both times, they've been so nice. It's just been like, oh, where are you going? How long are you staying? You know, this all looks good. Have a good trip. And then the US, they're just like, they fucking, like, put a flashlight in your eyes or interrogating you. Like, didn't even look through my suitcase both ways. I had a code and they didn't ask me to open it. Put it through machine. And that's normal. Usually, unless there's an issue on the machine, they don't open it. Like, they'll do a scan and, like, an x-ray or something that shows them if there's anything suspicious looking inside. But if there's not, then they just let you go. I feel like that's normal. But yeah, that was my experience. Eventually, they, like, I was, like, stuck at that border check for, like, 5 minutes, because apparently there was some issue with, like, you know, they have to take, like, a photo of your face and compare it with the passport. And apparently there was some issue, and they were, like, going back and forth, asking me a bunch of questions, like, you know, I don't remember what they asked, actually. And like, after 5 minutes of just, like, going back and forth, they're looking at shit. They just, like, take another photo and they're like, oh, no, that's fine. I was like, dude, we could have done this from the start. You don't think to, like, take a second photo first? I don't know. Yeah, that was my TwitchCon experience. Have you ever, like, had anything you shouldn't have had on you in an airport? There was, like, one time where I accidentally brought, like, a thing of sunscreen that was too big for my carry-on, so they threw it away, but that was it. Like, I'm generally not really afraid of, like, airport security anymore. I definitely still don't like it, but I know it's kind of like worst case scenario, because I know I don't have anything illegal on me that's concerning. Like, worst case, I'm gonna bring on something that they're like, hey, you can't have this on you, but you probably didn't know that, but we have to throw it out. Like, they're not gonna, like, fucking arrest me. They're just gonna throw it out. So, it'd still be sad, and I'd waste money, but it wouldn't, like, I wouldn't die. Like, I'd still make my flight. Sunscreen? Yeah, it's a liquid. Is that like a language barrier? Everybody called it sun cream at the It's called sunscreen or sunblock here. But that's all about TwitchCon from me. And then and also that time I DM'd SoulTB when I was at the waiting for my train to go to get my flight, because he was there with me last year, and I said I miss you, and he said, but your aim is getting better. It was pretty huge. Call sunscreen as well. That's not what I expected. I feel like that's like gonna be one of the most usual things. Actually, I can't even remember if that was me. It might have been one of my siblings. I just remember that happened at some point. But no, I've never really had any issues at an airport. I feel like most of the stuff is kind of self-explanatory. I thought some people called it sunscream. What? No, don't scream at that. But anyways, hold on. We need to have a dramatic fade in real quick. Don't save changes to my untitled work, MS Paint. I'm sorry. We need to have a dramatic fade in because where's it at? I put it here, right? Yes. Yes. Yes, this has been open the entire time on my PC. Chat, who wants to play Deltarune? I actually fully need to feed my cat first. But let me change my title first because I will forget. And category. Yes. Yes. Rhythm and music game. Ah. like you Twitch tags. Oh boy. I'll probably be able to play this for like 2.5 hours, and then I fully gotta go to bed. I can't lie, chat, but I'll do what I can. I am going to feed my cat and also piss, but I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'll show you guys the cat then as well. Do you guys want a jigsaw puzzle to do? Actually, I already had the setup. Hold on. I'll give you guys a puzzle to keep your little brains occupied. You're like a dog I need to take care of. I need to keep you guys stimulated. I'm on mobile, everyone else lock in. You got this, MJ. You gotta be like moral support. Okay, hold on. That should be it. You guys should be able to lock in. Here we go. You guys have fun. If anyone is currently not on mobile, go on piloted. I need you to lock in for the people. I'll be back.